Welcome, my name is Lucas and this is Fortress Forum. What we're going to talk about today is the new GUI 4 Lite version for the K series recorders. So all the K series recorders, I mean 7604, 08, K2, K4 and K, so K2, K4, K8. There's a new GUI been released. So I'd just like to show you how the software, how to operate in the software right now. So it's a new kind of layout to the one that you used to. Remember with the GUI 3 there was a totally different layout altogether. So it's more similar to the one you find in I series recorders. So we're just gonna go through the setup, see what's new in the software. So let me show you the actual software right now. So like you see here, I have a few cameras connected already. So when we go, so this is just a few cameras. You have like a terminal camera, channel 1 and 2, some NPR camera, and just some wide angle camera as well. So in order to get into the menu, you just go right click and go exit full screen. Some settings might be a different position in a different place. So if you would like to view your cameras, just go right click, exit, go full screen. That brings up the full screen with all the channels listed. You can change the layout. So in this case, up to 9 channels at the same time. It's just a small recorder, so that's why. So if you like to go back to my menu, just go exit full screen, and on the top of the page, just like in the I series recorder, you have a few options. So the first one is a live view, second one is playback, search and configuration as the fourth one, and the last one, it will be a maintenance. On the left hand side, there will be typical your listed cameras that you have connected to your recorder. On the right hand side, there's a power button, so you can click and you can log out, you can shut down, you can reboot. There's a download indicator, so you can see if there's any updates available online. So you can actually go online and search for an update automatically, or you can update your file from the file we might send it to you. Also, we have this bell icon that will indicate that there was some intrusion detection, line crossing, any basic events like motion detection, for example, or any exception if there's an issue with any part of the recorder that you need to know of, like hard drive failure or IP conflict, illegal login. All those will come up here. The same for the basic. You have the alarm input, video tamper, motion detection. In the smart events, you have a bit more. You have the intrusion detection, audio. It all depends what type of the camera you have there. Those features will be listed and will be shown here if they're triggered. So like you see, there's plenty of different options available here. You also have this whitelist and blacklist, which is quite interesting as well. So if you go back, you can close the window, you can just right click. Right click will be your exit button kind of. So what else you have there? It's a Hikconnect shortcut. So you can see it's like a QR code. So if I click into that QR code, it's going to ask me to set up the configure the Hikconnect connection. So I can just go, I don't have to look for settings. I can actually click into it in the right hand side corner and go to configuration of the Hikconnect straight away from this page. So there's a pop-up message here. I'd like to enable the Hikconnect, just accept the terms and conditions. So you have the connection status online because I didn't save it yet. The new thing as well, very cool, time sync. So we synchronize the recorder time with the Hikvision server. You can encrypt your stream if you like, and it will tell you if the recorder is already linked to the different account or not. You can change the verification code if you need to as well. So for now, I'm just going to cancel that, and I'm just going to do that and show you how to connect at the very end of this webinar. So just going to cancel that for a moment. So what else you have in the live view? Like you see here, when you double click, when you view any of your cameras, you have this menu bar on the bottom of the page with a digital zoom, with audio in on if you have the microphone connected. and you can choose the substream or the mainstream to be displayed. So I can choose between two, and see that's the substream obviously now, much lower resolution. So now with 8 megapixel, a bit better. I can zoom it in if you like to and have a look and see. So yeah, you also have this instant playback. You're probably familiar with those options from the previous recorders, from the previous GUI. But instant playback, when you click into it, it will bring up the last 5 minutes of this particular camera. So you can just drag in and see what happened in the last 5 minutes. So we can exit that and we can just go back to the other page. So on the right hand side, you have the division page when you can just choose what camera is going to be displayed. So the second option, it's the playback, typical playback. So you have the list of the channels and you have the calendar. So like you see here, I have my camera number 1, for example, just streaming here, recording for the last whatever day or two. We can just choose multiple channels if you like to and play them away all at the same time, synchronized with each other. Obviously if you have like 4 8 megapixel cameras for entry-level recorder, the recorder might struggle a little bit. So I'm just going to show you on one camera at a time maybe now and see how it's getting on. So you have this just a regular playback, like you see here, and you have this time frame, so you can choose what time frame and date you like to play it back. Also you have this event playback, so if you go to the event playback, it will actually show you all the motion detections on the bottom of the page. If you like to zoom it in, you can just go from the 24 hours frame time to the 30 minutes frame time, and then we have the exact moment of some movement on the front of the camera, like you see here, some cars passing by. You can go fast forward 30 seconds or backward if you need to, and also just choose the 24 back again. So like you see here, it's very nice and smooth. Like I'm just going back and forwards, there's no latency whatsoever. I can do it so nice, and it's really fast, like, you know, to jump into the exact time frame you're looking for. So that's a huge improvement. Obviously you can also use this line crossing, intrusion detection, motion detection, the smart VCA search if you need to. So you can draw the line, you can draw the intrusion detection, motion detection. You can cut the footage that you're looking for. So for example, I just go snap start time and end time, and if you have the USB stick, plug it in, it will save it to your USB stick with exact time you're looking for. So obviously before you do the snap, you need to, you know, narrow down to exact video you're looking for, where you want to go, what video you want to choose to download. You can tag the video, so you can mark, in the case if you don't have the USB stick with you at the moment, you can actually go and tag the video if you need to and call it, all right, something suspicious was going on there before. I'm just looking at the chat here. Safe Watch Security Systems asking if that would be released. It's actually already released, like I said, on the K2, K4 and K8 NVRs. They're like an entry-level NVRs. The iSeries NVR has like very similar GUI, is just more brighter GUI than this one is. So what else we have here? Audio on, digital zoom, again the same thing we had it before. So when you go and try to zoom it in, you just use the mouse to zoom in and out. Simple as. Right click, it's your exit button. So that's one of the that's the playback and how you can quickly download the footage. If you go back to normal, you just have this blue bar you can go across, and like, I don't know if you notice, it's really quick of what is going on there on the screen. and there's almost no latency. Like I can just go into any time frame. It's really fast. Like, and this is like an 8 megapixel camera right now here you're looking at. It's just behind the behind the window. You have the multi-window division, so you can have like a full period, so you can get a different cameras. So you just need to be careful how many cameras you and what resolution of the cameras you like to display, because like I said, this kind of recorder might not handle it like 4 8 megapixel cameras if you need to. So you need to look at the spec and see exactly what is the recorder is capable of, and get the proper cameras for the proper recorder. Like with the I-series recorder, there would be no problem whatsoever, but for the K-series, was the entry-level recorder, it's a bit different. So that's really playback, you've seen it before. So the search option, you have the video, so you can look for the exact batch of the video that you need to download. So you can search within all channels that you have connected, or a particular camera itself, if you like to download some footage, or look for any tag if you tagged the video before. You can also lock the video if you need to, so it won't be overwritten. But these options that were there before, is just you might find them in a different place on this new recorder. So again, if you like to download the bigger batch of footage, not just clipping them away in the live playback, in the playback option, you can just select the exact time frame for your video, for the file to be downloaded, and search for it. And then you just select the video and just do the same like you usually do with the older recorders. Just go and export video and log, or the player on its own. So in this case, it's just a video. So you just need to have the USB stick, plug it in to download this video. Like you see here, there's a size, it's about 1149 megabits, so it's about 1 gigabyte. So you need at least 2 gigabyte USB stick for that footage we selected here, to save the video. What else we have there? Picture. If you're scheduled your cameras to take snapshots or take any capture picture, you can select that, and that brings up any picture that has been taken before. So you can see here, I have a few events been triggered on the thermal camera. I have the line crossing, so I can see it exactly what was going on. And if I would go with, once again, with event search, and again just select what kind of event I'm interested in, line crossing for example, or a vehicle intrusion detection, I can just choose them all and select the particular camera I like to see if there was any event happened that day. Like you see here, there's a line crossing, there's some motion detection on that camera, so I can just go and play and see what happened there. So there it is, there's some car passing by and it triggered my line crossing. That's basically what we used to have before. So that's pretty much nothing new. The human, that depends on the camera, if the camera can detect like intrusion, human detection. And the same with the vehicle, if you have the NPR camera in place, and if the camera is picking up the reg, you can search for the exact reg or for all the regs that has been detected. Unfortunately, the camera I have there, it's just an NPR, but it's not in the right position, so I won't see any reg plates been detected at the moment. So that's just the video search if you like to do batch download. The other one, it's the configuration. It's a bit more in the configuration when you look into it. You have the system time and the current time, the resolution of the screen. You can have up to 4K screen. You can enable the wizard if you like, so it take you through the process of setting up this recorder. If you need to lock screen, password, so you can have your pattern if you need to. NTP time sync, so you can synchronize your time with the different time server. But like I said, the Hikvision is offering the time sync with the HikConnect, so that's quite cool. The user and create the user the same way as you've done it before. You just need to enter the password of your admin, and then you'll be able to create a new user. Any exceptions, so in the case of the HDD full error, all those features are in the configuration page and exceptions. So buzzer alarm, that's the audible warning it used to be called, or send an email if you need to. So in the case if something is going on with the recorder, you can choose what's going to happen. Network, like you see, our network, it's DHCP enabled, so I have my recorder on the local IP address assigned automatically. The same with the obtain DNS. I can choose DNS to choose my own DNS if you like to, so I can just use like a Google one if you need to, with the backup. And just save those settings, and that's it. HikConnect, that's the page where you have the HikConnect options. So if you like to enable a HikConnect while you're here, you can do that here, or you can do it with the shortcut on the right hand side top corner. So we're going to go back to this later on. Email setup, so you have all email notifications if you need to send an email with the intrusion detection, line crossing information with the attached picture if you need to. So that again depends on your email provider. You need to use your username and password, SMTP server, so it could be like smtp.gmail.com. Like Aircom would be like mail1.aircom.net, and suitable port for that SMTP server. Monitor stations, they will provide you with their own email address, so that's grand. And the same with the selected receivers, you have up to 3 people we can send an email to. So that didn't change much there. The camera, IP cameras, so this is the page where you can look at your cameras and if they're connected or not, and check the password of those cameras. If you need to, you can just type it in the password of the recorder, and that will display password of the cameras if they're connected. Obviously, if they're not connected, you need to reset the password of those cameras yourself, if you don't know what the password is. So like you see, we have 4 cameras connected. If you like, I can change the settings of each camera. So I can change the port, I can change the protocol. I can use the camera password, activation password. So I have my activation password of the recorder the same as the camera in this case. So I don't have to type it in password every single time. I just go and change the activation password, and that will enroll the password on its own. You can delete that, you can upgrade your camera. So if you have the USB stick with the file, digicam file on your USB stick, you can upgrade your camera from via the recorder. And configuration, so you see here, that's the actual channel address and the password. You can change the password of the camera if you need to. So, and the same as the channel address, IP address for this channel. You can see the indications, security password, that's always been there. On screen display, the same thing is just on the left hand side. You can change the name of the camera, you can change how the time will be displayed, days, months and years and so on. The events, in the case if you have the camera that will support intrusion detection, line crossing, the events will show in smart events. I will show you in a second. So in this case we have just the motion in the simple mode. So you have the motion detection, so you can enable that. If you're looking for an advanced settings of events, you just need to go and click expert mode. So expert mode actually are going to allow you to go to smart events, and then if you have the camera that will support intrusion detection, line crossing, you'll be able to choose and change those settings. I meant whatever intrusion detection you like to, and what's going to happen. So this option, it's like, you know, the same as it used to be. Record, so you have the schedule, typical schedule, so you have 24/7 by default. Parameters, so you have the resolution, frame rate, bit rate of your camera, so you can change the resolution if you need to on that page with the substream. The storage, you can see what type of the hard drive you have there, what is the size and the current status of the hard drive, and this is the place where you can also initialize it. That means format the drive or repair the database if in the case if there's some data been corrupted. Storage mode, so you can choose how the video is going to be recorded on your drives. If you have one drive, so you don't really have a choice, you're going to record only that particular drive. But if you have at least 2, you can group channels to different hard drives. So you can have like first 4 channels to record on the first hard drive, and the last 4 to the second hard drive if you need to. In advanced settings, typical override, enable the HDD and save the camera VCA data. So that will brings up all the information about the intrusion detection to your recorder. So that's pretty much you have in configuration. Like you see here, it's very kind of neat looking, very simple, and everything's on the left hand side if you need to just go through that. Just one more thing, once we're in the schedule, so if you like to limit the recorder to only record for 30 days, this is the place. So you go to record, schedule, advanced. In advanced you have the video picture schedule, so I mean the expire time. So in days you just put 30 days and won't record for more than 30 days in this case. You can also choose what stream is going to be recorded, mainstream or substream. Obviously you want to have the best of this camera, so you're going to by default choose mainstream anyway. So if you go to the maintenance, like you see here, maintenance is really simple now. You have this device model number, the serial number. You can restore the device settings. You can factor a default and make it inactive, so clear all the passwords and everything else, even the admin password. If you go to more settings, you have your log. So if you like to find out what happened to your recorder in the past, you can just choose the exact information you're looking for. So any alarms or any exceptions in the past, you just go inside. So you can see Hit Connect hasn't been connected here. Remote operation. I tried to connect before, I didn't connect it, so that will show you here. The system service, so you can choose what options are enabled. So RTSP if you're streaming to the third-party device, like a Streambox for example. Camera added detection, that would choose if that would detect if the camera it's connected to your recorder. If you go back to configuration and the camera, once I enable the expert mode, you can see there's a PoE settings, and we tell you if I'm actually using PoE or not, or if the PoE ports at the back of my recorder are enabled. Like you see here, I disable all the ports, so it's not using the PoE at the moment. I just use all the local IP address of my of my network. So if you like to add or remove the camera, I just go and select the camera. So I'm just gonna remove these two, gonna delete that. So there was on 34 IP address. So if you like to add the camera, I just go with the online devices on the bottom. Like you see, there's some devices already been connected to a different machine here. That's a 34. That's the one I would like to connect. So I click the add button. Once I click the add button and this recorder and the camera has the same password, that's it, straight away it's up here. But what about the second channel of this camera? Like I like to connect the second channel because the terminal camera has 2 channels. So in this case, what I can do, I can just remove that one and manually add the camera. So I can just manually enter 34, that was the IP address. I can just use the password the same as the recorder. So you see I don't really change anything else. I just click add, and system automatically will detect that how many channels this device has. So just go select both, and you have both connected straight away without typing in any password if the cameras have been activated before. You can also export and import information about your cameras if you need to. You can upgrade them in batch if you have them all the same make and the model number with the same firmware version. You can change that. You can switch them all automatically to 265 compression. By default the cameras are switched to 265, so that shouldn't be any problem. And you can also set what is the camera activation password setting. So if for some reason the password on the cameras has been changed and you didn't change that on the recorder, you can just choose. So you need to enter the password of your recorder. And then activation password for your camera. So in my case, I just keep the same for both, and that's it. Also on the left hand side, when we go to system settings, once we're in expert mode, we have a few bit more options available, like live view. So the live view, it's the same page you always had on the GUI 3 or iSeries GUI 4 recorder. So you can choose output interface, like you see here, the HDMI and the VGA, they are totally independent. So I can choose what kind of layout will be displayed on each monitor. So in this case, by default, I have 2x2, maximum is 3x3. If I have like 8 cameras connected, I can have 2x2, so 4 channels displayed. And I can switch every 4 channels every 5 seconds up to 300 seconds, or just keep them steady on 4 channels on the first page only. And pop-up messages, so in the case of the intrusion detection line crossing, if there's anything been triggered and I have this full screen monitor selected, it would pop up on one of the screens, so you can choose what screen is going to be selected. And alarm pop-up message, so for how long it's going to stay on screen, full screen. Also, if you have the microphone built in, you can enable an audio, so you will hear an audio over the HDMI output, or an audio output at the back of the recorder. In the view settings, this is how you're going to arrange your cameras if you netherite the way they are connected at the back of the PoE switch by default, or the way are connected via the local network. You can always rearrange the view, so you can choose what camera goes where. So you can stop all the live view and you just select, all right, so this is my NPR going to be here, my 4th channel is going to be as a second, my 3rd one is this camera here and that camera there, and you just save those settings. So if you have the more cameras to be displayed, you just choose different layout on the bottom of the page. Simple as that. And you can choose a different layout for a second output. You also have this channel 0, but nobody's using it. User settings, like you showed that before. So that's pretty much all you have here. It's really simple. Keep it simple and easy for everyone. Once you get familiar with this GUI, which is not really that hard, you just need to remember that option here. If you like to get to the more advanced settings, you see here there's a simple mode and expert mode. Like this easy mode, it will kind of make it all some options hidden there. So once we have this all set up properly with the time and everything else, we just go back to the live view, and I'm just going to show you how to connect it to the HikConnect. So we're just going to do it from the main page. So it's very simple. I just go configuration, enable, and just check the box for terms and conditions. I like to sync the time and scan this code now. So I'm just going to give it a go and scan the code. So I'm just going to show you my phone here. So you look at your phone on my phone as well. So there's my phone there. I just go HikConnect, go plus button, and just gonna scan the QR code. That's it. So once I scan the QR code, I just click the add button and I then complete it. Next, and just give it a name, whatever name. So just gonna leave it as it is. And there it is. This is our recorder. Once I click into it, I should have my cameras displaying there now. Very simple. So if you go configuration, I have all information about my device. I can enable the notifications, set up DNS if you have the ports open, encrypt the stream if you need to, tell me information about my storage. But I'll show you more about the HikConnect on the next webinar actually. We're going to go through all the HikConnect options, what you have there available. So you have I have the access control there connected as well. So that's it, and it's on your phone straight away, but just scan the QR code. So nice and easy. It's online, so if I go and close that and try to get to that page again, like you see the configuration is gone now, so the only thing I have is a QR code. So I'd like to go to actual HikConnect options. I will need to go to this configuration and HikConnect, and you can see it's binded to my account, and I can unbind it from my account if you like to. Just click in and enter whatever password is on that recorder. So you need to know what's the password. So you don't need to use the SADB software if you don't have the laptop with you. And that's it. It's unbound. So now it's ready to connect to a different phone, to a different account. So I'm just gonna turn it off now, and that's pretty much it what you have here. So it's really simple, straightforward, and it's really nice looking design. I must say it's really cool. For the end user, would be very user friendly. Must say it's really good. So if you like to go back to full screen, you just go full screen, and that's it. And that's the way you have it viewed here. So again, if you go any of the cameras I like to have here, and just go playback, it will just go playback for that only camera. The rest of them will be in the full and in the live view. So if you have any questions regarding this GUI, it's actually, like I said, we already updating all the machines to that latest GUI. The K series machines, the I series, they have their own GUI 4. It's really something new, and everyone was waiting for the new GUI because the old one was a bit like old school looking, been there for years, and there were some bits and bobs that they weren't working as it should be, and those features that weren't there, like you have it here right now, like the unbinding option, and that we have many queries about, or set up the Hikconnect, which is really simple. So if you have any questions, guys, give me a shout. If you like to find out the price on the K series, you know where to go. Your sales manager, our sales department, they're ready for you. So if you look at the next webinar next Wednesday, we're going to go into details of the Hikconnect. I'm just going to show you what to do with the Hikconnect, what can be done with the Hikconnect, how to manage the device, how to add the recorder with the DNS, how to add the recorder with the Hikconnect DNS. So that will be quite interesting as well. So can't wait to see that, and thank you very much for your time. I appreciate that, and as always, stay awesome, and thank you very much, guys. Take care. Bye.